In today's video, I'll show you how to add moody and naturally rustic elements into your home to create a warm and cozy aesthetic using earthy tones and textured finishes. Hey there, this is Sandra and you're watching The Schwowin's Nest. Adding decorative objects into your home decor doesn't have to be expensive or even hard to do. I found 3 of these concrete pears that had a gold bottom, which is definitely not my style, so I decided to do something a little different with them. I'm using some white chalk paint and a stippling brush, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of texture along with some color to cover up the gold. Now, if a little bit of gold still peeks through, that's okay, but I definitely wanted to get rid of that harsh line between the concrete and the gold portion. When I'm out thrifting or shopping my local dollar stores, I'm always looking for something that I know can be better than what it already is. These concrete pears for someone who loves gold would have been perfect as is. But for me, I'm always looking at what things could be. Could I add a little bit of paint to it and make it look more my style? Would this fit into my home decor? And number one, is it going to be expensive for me to do? Or is it in my budget and will a little paint just help me make it happen? Most of the time, the answer is yes. The stippling effect that I'm using is to be a little heavier on the bottom and then lighter towards the center of the pear. I'm not going to be going all the way up because I still want to see some of that original concrete, which is so naturally rustic. To add even more depth and dimension to the pear, I'm going to be using this smaller stippling brush and some black acrylic paint. I'm going on here very lightly right now just to kind of get an idea of what it will look like and what I want it to look like at the end. Eventually, I do start adding a little bit more of the black paint towards the bottom, and you can see here that the paint is still wet. So the white paint underneath still has some moisture to it. So I'm getting a really nice blended effect, and it's turning into a more of a darker gray, but I'm really liking how this is turning out. So I'm going to continue on. Once I had the bottom finished, I used the same brush just to add a little bit of black paint to the pear's stem. You can still see a little bit of the brown peeking through, so that makes it look even more natural. This resin bird I picked up at my local dollar store for $4.50. It's very lightweight and it's something that I would sometimes see at thrift stores. And for about $4.50, that's how much a thrift store find would probably be as well. The reason I grabbed this one is because it was big, but also it had a lot of great texture in the bird's feathers and the tail. The color was just a little bit off. As I covered the bird with this clay colored chalk paint from Martha Stewart, I really do like how they highlighted the feathers and the tail. So I'm going to keep that in mind for my inspiration when I'm ready to do something next with the bird. I'm going to give this almost 3 coats because the orange on the top of his little head was very bright and it was very difficult to cover up. The one thing I'm going to leave unpainted completely are his eyes. This bird had some really nice eyes and they didn't freak me out. Sometimes when I'm at the dollar stores and I see their bird objects, their eyes just look weird. But this one was perfect. The color turned out perfect. I just really love that sort of grayish brown color. It just looks really nice for this bird and it makes his eyes really pop. What I'm doing now is just taking a small little chip brush with some black paint and I'm just very gently going over the beak. I don't want it to be solid black. I want a little bit of that clay color to peek through. So I'm just going to go over it very lightly and make sure that you can see some texture too. Using the same brush and offloading some of the black paint so I don't get too much on there, I'm using a very light touch and I'm going to go over the same areas that were originally distressed or accented with dark paint on the bird. This, I think, adds so much interest to this bird. It really turns out nice. And I'm going to continue adding a little bit of this black on the tail, on the other wing, a little bit around the eyes and the head, just keeping working on it until I get the look that I want. And once I'm satisfied with it, that's when I'm going to stop. Make sure that you don't hesitate or be afraid of adding paint to some of your decorative objects. If you don't like it, you can let the paint dry and start again. That is the beauty of paint. This tiny Tealight house was also a Dollarama find. It was $1.50. Although I love the shape and I love the color of it, it just has this sparkly sheen to it that was not my cup of tea. So at first I had tried just painting it with some black chalk paint, but it was sliding off too much. So I decided to just go with my Rust-Oleum Black Satin 2-in-1 spray paint with a couple of light coats. It turned out exactly how I envisioned. Shopping at thrift stores is a lot of fun, but it can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes when I'm in the clear glass section, there are so many pieces that it's sometimes hard to choose. So what I like to do is look for unique styles and shapes, different sizes, and this one was absolutely perfect. It is a narrow vase, but it's wide and it's got these beautiful soft edges and then just a little bit of a spout on the top. I really bought it because I love the shape of it and I loved the actual little bubble dots that you can see in it. So there's all sorts of glass bubbles in here, but it was sitting around too long. I think I've had it for over a year and my style right now doesn't really include glass or clear pieces. So it's getting a makeover. The color I'm using is a chalk paint and it's called Mushroom. Now, this was just a latex paint that I added a little bit of talc to create a chalky finish. Whenever I use this color, I get a ton of you asking what the color actually is. It was a paint that I used in my living rooms for the walls, and I just had some left over, so I created my own chalk paint with it. I can't give you the color because I don't have that information anymore, but I do have some similar colors like this listed on my Amazon store in chalk paint, in acrylics, and there's a bunch of them to choose from, and they're all very similar to this shade. I gave the vase only one coat of the mushroom color because I knew I was going to do some kind of texture design on it. I chose to start with black down at the bottom, and I'm going to do probably about the bottom third of the vase just with this black chalk paint. As I was putting this on, I realized I should have done the top texturing first before I started drawing this line. But that's okay. The second coat will take care of any imperfections when I do my second technique on this vase. Here on my channel, I try to use materials that you are going to have around the house. This is simply a kitchen sponge that I cut down and I pulled off some of the bits so it wouldn't have a straight edge. I'm also just using regular burnt umber acrylic paint that you can get at any dollar store. Having the lighter color on the bottom and then doing some of the sponging with the burnt umber on the top is going to give it a beautiful stippled texture. Using a light touch when you're pushing the sponge onto the vase will make sure that you don't get any patterns from the sponge. You can also turn the sponge, as I just did here, to get even a little bit more of a different texture. I'm going to leave mine just with the burnt umber like this because I really loved how it turned out. But you could definitely go a little bit further, maybe adding a little bit more depth and dimension with some more black, or brightening it up a bit with a little bit more of the mushroom paint on top. I gave the bottom of the vase where the original black was another coat and fixed up the line between the brown and the black. Then I decided I wanted to have a little bit of continuity in my design. So I'm using a small paintbrush and going inside the mouth of the vase, but I'm also going to be adding a little line on the top of the vase. So just something, a little tiny accent that's going to bring this whole piece together. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed these rustic and moody DIY decorative objects. I think it's so exciting to look at items from dollar stores and thrift stores with fresh eyes and see what a little bit of paint can really do. Make sure you do all the things. Hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell because you don't want to miss out on any other future videos from me. Bye for now.